You're listening to the Ottawa Real Estate Podcast, brought to you by Referral Mortgages and Blue Panda Realty, with your hosts, Paul Stevenson, David Warren, and Greg Campbell. Let's see what's going on in the world of real estate in our nation's capital.
Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Whenever you're listening to us, welcome. It's the Friday. I was going to say it's the Friday wrap-up. It's the Ottawa Real Estate Podcast.
Every intro is different.
Oh, God. Ridiculous. And look at how red I am now. Just a beautiful color shade of red. We're live. I'm Paul Stevenson. I'm here with Greg Campbell, David Warren. I am one of the owners and a mortgage agent at Referral Mortgages. Greg is a partner at Blue Panda Realty. And David Warren is my business partner at Referral Mortgages and also an ace of spades when it comes to mortgages.
The ace of spades.
That's actually I'll tell a funny story to kick it off here. So we have this running joke in my family. My dad is he's a man of few words. Used to be, at least. He's a little more talkative now, but whenever he'd get really angry, there was an instance where I can't remember what happened. Something broke, I think, and he was just like at his breaking point, and instead of like swearing or anything, he just went ace, like just so angry, just like ace. That was the best. Anyways, it was great. How was the week?
Another interesting week in the world of real estate.
Greg,
New listing, losing some offers, got some other buyers coming on board, some other things coming along. We just keep going. I don't know if you saw my post promoting the show last night. I forgot to mention that this morning when we got on here, but I lost an offer. We were 210 over asking, and it sold for 275 over asking. Bridalwood, Canada.
What's the percentage difference? What's that? Because if we're talking a $200,000 home, that's one thing. But I think it's about 25 or 30%.
$900,000 home. $900,000 home. Beautiful home. I would live in that home, and I don't say that very often. But my guys couldn't get it. They're from out of town. They're coming in from Edmonton, and we've lost a couple in the Glebe and Dow's Lake area. And for them to think that buying in the suburbs was close to the same price as those areas, they just couldn't wrap their heads around it. Even though the average pointed exactly to the number where it sold at, pretty much.
I'm still wrapping my head around that. Like I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that Canada and these suburb areas, Barrhaven, are hitting price points that you're getting homes in Westboro, in Glebe, in Hintonburg, like West Centertown. I find that I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. So I don't blame that those clients of yours are trying to figure that out too.
No. And to be fair, the oddest thing is that the ones that we lost previously were priced around 1.15, 1.2 million, when we would lose by maybe we lost one by like 10 and then, another one by like 30. Whereas this was listed at 900,000. So to think that it was going to sell for that. But when I looked at the past sales, I was like, everything was listed between 800 and 900,000, and they sold from 1.1 to 1.25 million. Mm-hmm. So the average was 1.16. I'm like, look, the average is 1.6. They're like, what do we need to do to win? I'm like, 1.2. I'm like, 1.2 will get you the house. I go, I know it's hard to believe. And she's like, I can't justify that. And then it sold for 1.16. And I was like,
and it was listed at 8, you said, or 850?
Listed at 8. Listed at 8. It was crazy. I mean, the thing is, for them, they want the in-law suite. It had that sick in-law suite with a walkout. So the yard is pie-shaped lot, massive pool with enough yard to build another pool, and a huge deck up top with a 14-seater patio set, like table. I mean, like, it was exceptional for that. It had everything that they needed, but bottom line was the price just seemed
so you were right.
Out of touch.
You were right. Again, numbers didn't lie, but
numbers didn't lie
on the offer.
Yeah. And I told them, so they're like, what do you think? And I go, I think 1.2 is probably going to get it. And then, it's, so she's like 1.10, 1.110. I was like, that's it. She's like, that's our top for this one. I'm like, okay. And then,
I mean, at the end of the day,
it was a fair offer. That was a fair offer, but
yeah. I think at the end of the day, people also need to be mindful of their own budget too, or what they're comfortable at. Right. I mean, some people,
Yeah.
It might get to that
that's
point
what I
where
always
they end
say.
up at 1.2, but
I always say, you got to just, your bid is the price you're comfortable losing at, right? I mean, I'm talking about that with someone else right now. They're in Morocco. I'm trying to help them buy from Morocco in Beacon Hill. And, we're in a situation where in Beacon Hill, there's 3 properties that dropped their price this week. 3. They didn't sell on offer day. They all dropped their price. And now we're in one that dropped its price, but we're thinking of coming in even lower. So we'll see where that goes.
That's wild. Yeah, that's one thing the biggest takeaway from that post you made was just the variance of offers from Canada to Orleans, where you have one property that's going for, 200,000-300,000 over asking. You have others that have, 1 or 2 offers at asking. And then you have other properties that are getting 0 offers and are having to drop their price. So what are the main factors do you think that are contributing to that variance?
It's very confusing. I mean, I think I just have a feeling that people are not really seeing the value in certain neighborhoods, or they're overvaluing certain properties. And location wise too. I don't really know. Like the ones in Beacon Hill, they need a lot of work. Okay. It's Beacon Hill. But so as the prices went up, I think that, it reached its kind of limit. Unless it's exceptional. These were not exceptional properties and they were demanding exceptional prices. On the other hand, in Bridlewood, you're in one of the best neighborhoods in the city, and you're in some of the biggest homes that are backing on green space. So there's, the demand for those properties, like certain people wait years to live there, right? Just like Beacon Hill, but those ones didn't have any work to do. So I don't know. Everything's got its differences. But the one thing though about the Beacon Hill properties, all of them needed a lot of work. Like they need at least $150,000 into them. So does that make Beacon Hill properties $1 million? Could be.
I think there was something that you said. You've said it all along, but for this variance in pricing and like you were saying, some properties going back on with the drop, with the price being reduced or this or that. But at the end of the day, if the property is if the asset is a good property and it's well finished and it's desirable, it's going to still get eyes on it. Yes. And it's still multi-offers. Not everything's going multi-offer, and a lot of stuff isn't getting offers on offer day, but they're dated properties. They're not renovated. They're not in maybe an area that's for some not as desirable. But if it's like this place in Canada, well done, like in-law suite walkout, great deck, that's going to get the big eyeballs on it. Yeah. I had a client that lost out on a property in Orleans last week. And it was, he was asking me, it was listed at 1.4 or 1.5. And it was unbelievable. Like the landscaping alone was got to be a couple $100,000, exceptional, if not even higher than that. But, and he was asking me, well, what do you like? Should I be worried about appraisal? And I said, this is Orleans. I'm still trying to wrap my head around a place even listed at 1.4. I'm like, I can't tell you. I'm like, I'm throwing this back to your realtor. I don't know his realtor. I'm just like, so just told him, listen, go back to your realtor. This is a conversation with them. I can't look at current sales. I know that like Avalon has had some 1.4 sales and things like that, but like, I can't fathom that this is, that stuff's going for 1. Anyways, it ended up going for 1.6 in Orleans. Trust me, it's like, absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, if you look it up, you'll find it, but if it was downtown, I'd be downtown and a lot less. I'd be very interested.
Yeah. But the other thing that's going on right now is that we thought that the market was kind of correcting itself a bit, where everybody was starting to price things a little bit more in line with where it should be. And then we weren't getting the showings. Mm-hmm. The agents aren't getting the showings on the properties that are priced properly. So now we're back in this weird world where there's some that are being priced like that, but then there's a lot coming out that are going back to what we were pricing at the $499 number to get people in and get that bigger number, right? So it's super confusing. Like I talked to an agent the other day, and he's like, dude, you got to price it 100,000 under what you want to get at least. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not playing that game, but he's doing it, and he's probably going to get his money, probably going to get his seller's money. But man, like it's all over the map. As time goes on, we've talked about, I just see it just keeps changing. Mm-hmm. It's so difficult to sit down and have a proper conversation, but this is the conversation. And by the time I'm done explaining this to somebody, they're just like, I don't get it. And
this is why people need to tune into TOREP every week, because it is on a weekly basis.
Exactly.
I was going to say, go ahead.
No, I was just, never mind. Go.
I was just going to say that this sort of behavior, I guess, by real estate agents is the exact behavior that's going to prompt, like blind bidding is going to be gone. Like it's going to prompt more automation. It's going to prompt more property valuations that set the list price. Like all of these things are going to come into effect because the market, even as a professional, you have absolutely no way to truly, like, I mean, you were accurate in that property, but if you look at one end of the city versus the other, you have to have completely different strategies. And how many, like you're a very well-educated, experienced real estate agent. Imagine people that are new in the industry and have absolutely no idea where to even start. Like those clients are still given the impression that they're getting the best advice possible, which they may be getting the best advice from that specific person, but it might not be the best advice there is, you know? So I just think when you have that much variance in the prices where, you know, you're going 200 something over asking and it's going for 300 something over asking and so on, these sorts of experiences, and we've been talking about this for months, these are the sorts of things that are going to bring in more automation and bring in more, automated values and things like that prior to listing. Or regulation.
Like I think there needs to be more regulation in the sense of blind bidding. We've talked about it, you know, in the blind bidding and double ending, things like that. That I think those will change the landscape.
It has to come, and it needs to come fast. Of course, it's going to come too late. It'll probably come like next year, which will, you know, but we'll see what happens.
Have you ever spoken to somebody at the TOREP? Sorry, no, go finish your thought.
I just want to go into the story quickly because it stems from exactly what we're talking about. So I got a call last night from a friend who has a friend, excuse me, who purchased elsewhere, and they felt swindled. They felt swindled by the agents, and he explained the story to me, and I agree 100%. So what happened was he went to see a property, and there's a team. It's two agents working on the property from the same brokerage. Sees the property. It's listed at listed in the between 400,000 and 500,000. And he says to him, okay. The guy's like, yeah, there's going to be multiple offers. You know, what do you think? And he's like, well, I want to bid, 500,000 on it. And he's like, well, no. He's like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work on this. He's like, well, I'd like to bid 500,000, and then, you know, the seller can counter, or when it comes time to, when there's other offers on the table, maybe I'll up my bid. He's like, that's not going to work. You're going to have to pay 550 if you want the property. He says, has it in writing that the agent's saying, I will not submit the offer that you're asking for. I won't submit it. So basically what's happening here is you've got two agents working together who are going to double end a property and trying to get this guy to spend more money than the other buyers are going to bring.
So his own agent that's representing him said they wouldn't submit that offer?
Correct.
Wow.
And so he ended up actually, and then this is the kicker. They tried to get him to spend more money. He refused. They said they had 12 offers. He's working with them, and all he's doing is hearing this from them. There's no proof of anything. He's like, they tried to get him to spend more. He said, no, this is my top number. They accepted it. It's conditional. They accepted it because they said he had a letter from the lender. So they accepted the deal. And I guess now he's just trying to figure out, what he's going to do here. But he feels like he's been taken a bit.
Now, is there any way for the real estate boards, like when there's a complaint to RICO or, anything like that, where they, and I know that the statistics this year, the number of complaints I was reading are through the roof, I'm sure, because of blind bidding and all that. But is there any way of RICO verifying in this case, like for this gentleman, how many offers there were actually on the table?
Yeah. They have to keep record of everything. So if an investigation was put into play, that would be the first thing. They would go and say, show us how many offers were submitted and show us those offers.
So people can understand, because I don't even know that. I didn't even know this. So where do you keep the record of that on file? Do you keep copies of those offers?
Legally, you're supposed to keep every single offer that you get submitted. So, and I only learned this year after I had, at the beginning of the year when I had that 36 offer property. So you had to go through all the emails, and I had them all. I had them all downloaded, named in folders. So if anything came up, I could go back and see it, right? But yeah, you have to. And I bet a lot of agents that are even listening to this right now don't know that. Legally, you need to keep, for yourself and for your brokerage, you need to keep every single offer that you get on every offer that you're working with, on every property that you're selling. Is
there a stipulation for how many years? Is there like a timeline at all?
That I'm not sure of. I imagine there's a timeline. It could be 7 years, just like,
So when this regulation comes into play, because I feel like it's inevitable. When it comes into play, I wonder if they'll backdate it. So, if you bought a home in the past, you'll be able to see the last couple of years worth of transactions.
No, there's no way. They'll just it'll be from a point in time forward, I would think. I don't think. Yeah, it'd be hard for them to go back. It'd be nice, but then
that's what I'm wondering. All the people that were outbid, like, damn it.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, being like, I got screwed over.
Yeah, no, just have some system that scrapes all the data. Terry Wilson was asking if you knew what the comps were on that property.
On which one?
The one in Quebec. I'm assuming she posted it a few minutes ago.
I don't.
It is a Quebec property, correct? I think you mentioned, or. Yeah. Okay.
Could be.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was. I didn't realize that. I apologize. Could be. Could
somewhere be. Else.
Somewhere else in another province.
Yeah.
But that's a shame. Luckily, he's under condition.
And this goes to just 2 points here. If I have someone come in, first of all, I don't let them work with me if I don't double end a property. I bring them to somebody else. There's no commission reduction. And there's also, as an agent, you do what someone asks you to do something, you do it, you don't try to convince them to spend more money. Like what, like that's classic, like sleazeball sales tactic shit that, you hear about, like old school stereotype used car salesman type thing. Like that's just wild. Like, and like there needs to be, and it just shows that there needs to, talk about regulations, even though, we're regulated like crazy, but clearly not enough. Like shit like that, it shouldn't be happening at all.
So something that the banks do when it is actually, and to this point for a scenario just like this, and the reason why they do it, but if there's two agents, two realtors that are working that work for the same brokerage on the same transaction, it automatically triggers an appraisal. So a lot of people don't realize that, but it automatically triggers an appraisal. The bank wants that because of that exact reason of collusion.
Really? This is a fact?
Yeah, they're worried about collusion on a transaction.
Yes.
So if it's under the same house,
cahoots.
Yeah, if it's two agents with Blue Panda, it's going to trigger an appraisal. If it's like from the same Remax office, or Remax in Ottawa here, Remax affiliates or Remax whatever, it's going to trigger an appraisal. So
I didn't know
that's something to be aware of as well. For if any of you agents out there, and I hope there's none of you out there that are transact in this manner, but it will trigger an appraisal. And if it's something where you've gone in unconditional and you've inflated that price where it can't hit value, then you're going to be up the creek, because maybe you get a complaint to RICO, which now what Greg's mentioned, you have to keep all offers on any property. So they'll then you're getting that blind bidding. What was the closest? Why are they being bid up, and why is it not hitting value? So something to be cognizant.
Yeah, it's just, and you know how it is. Like when you sense it, when you sense that something's happening, usually it is.
Yeah.
If you feel uncomfortable, you probably have a reason to be. So we'll see where that goes. It was really sad to hear that story, because I don't like, and I said to him, I go, that sounds like, punch in the face type of, category
tactics.
Right there.
Yeah. You know what?
Like, just wake up, man.
He's able to walk away from that property still because he's under conditions. and change.
Yeah.
Change realtors, change like brokerages, kind of completely get out from that.
There are definitely options there for sure. So we'll see where it ends.
Changing angles, and we didn't talk about it before, but I wanted to bring it up. What I thought hilarious is one of your listings, Greg, is a property that I renovated about 4 years ago. I know 4 years ago, and it's doubled in value.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Dave's eyeballs.
I like seeing, but I do like seeing that my renos are holding up real nice, looking good, looking fresh,
forcing appreciation.
Even 5 years later, that flip is still looking prime.
That's a great story, man. That whole thing. So yeah, I'm excited for that. We're doing offers next week, and we'll see where it goes. Of course, there was nothing on that street since I think February or January, and then now suddenly there's like 3 in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
competition.
Years ago, whenever it was that we did it, it was like a pocket where it was like, I don't know, some people didn't want to go or this, and now it's just like bidding wars, price jumped. I find it hilarious, but I enjoyed going through the photos of it. I think I texted you about it. Anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed that. So I'm glad to see that you got that listing. Yeah.
Yeah. And it backs on the green space too. So it's a good property. Yeah. All right. Where are we at? I know we had some other stuff to talk about here. Yeah. Right?
One quick reminder for any realtor, anyone out there that is shopping, or if you have clients shopping, or if you're a mortgage broker, client, realtor, make sure that you're getting re-qualified. Just a reminder that June 1st is the new stress test that's coming in, meaning you're qualifying at a higher rate. For you realtors out there or buyers, if you have a purchase agreement in place before June 1st, you will be qualifying under the current right now stress test, not the new one. So if you signed a purchase agreement, or a new build a year ago, 2 years ago, 6 months, or you signed a purchase agreement today, you'll still qualify under that current stress test. So anyone out there shopping, just make sure to talk to your mortgage broker and or have your client talk to their mortgage broker to get requalified, just as a public service announcement reminder.
Refi's qualifying that too. So if you're refinancing, if you don't have your approval back by June 1st, you're going to also have you're going to be at a lower amount.
And for the people out there listening that might be concerned, I had 2 buyers just go through the process, and it only skewed them by like $10,000-$15,000. It wasn't a big deal.
It's roughly about 4% that with the new higher stress test, it works out to being. So it depends on your, where you are in your budget or where you're shopping. But from a quick numbers standpoint, it's about a factor of 4%. So for some, that makes a big difference if you're shopping right at your limit. But
yeah. And to be fair, yes. And both of my buyers weren't shopping at their limit. So that it didn't really affect them at all.
Stephen, do you have that article that we were talking about yesterday that Dave foreshadowed?
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. The Ottawa Citizen, National Post, Globe and Mail, clearly they are well behind the times. Things that we've talked about brought up months ago. Maybe they're listening to old episodes. Who knows?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I think so.
It was almost taken verbatim when we were talking about why there was a supply issue. Dave talked about how, the baby boomers are not leaving their homes. They're not going into retirement homes. They're staying in their homes longer. Then we talked about the supply chain issue with materials and so on. And Dave was reading through this article yesterday in, was it the Sun or Citizen?
Citizen. Yeah.
Citizen. And it had like almost verbatim, like the exact quote that Dave had, like almost in the same order. The same. It was just awesome. We're like, wow, that was a month afterwards, but who knows? Who knows who's listening? Who knows who's listening?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the end of it. You don't even have to bring it up.
Maybe we should start transcribing everything and copywriting.
yeah, just closed caption. Ricky says
For my own benefit, if any one of those binge listeners, and I know you're out there who apparently just listen to Real Estate Podcast for 6 hours a day, if you hear the quote in an old episode where the guys talk about that exact scenario, please send it to us so that I can make an ad out of it, because you can't write that kind of advertising.
Yeah, just a clip, amazing. Just a clip of Dave saying it, and the guys.
David foreshadows the market.
We also offer stock tips if anyone's interested. No.
Buy Bitcoin.
Ricky says he just hooked us up to this big screen and surround sound. And in the words of Joey Lawrence, whoa. I don't know if that's a good Joey Lawrence impression. But should we roll into the mood boost?
Yeah, let's get into the mood boost.
So I got 4 for you guys today. As usual, 4 is kind of the new 3, isn't it? I do 3. I'm like, damn, there's one more good one here. I got to toss it in. So here we go. We got 4. Number 1. What did I got to say this. What did the thesaurus eat for breakfast? The thesaurus is quite hard to say in tandem. A synonym roll. Synonym roll. The thesaurus. The thesaurus. Try to say that 3 times fast. Number 2. The source. A man enters a pun contest with his local paper. He sends in 10 puns, hoping at least one of them would win. Unfortunately, no pun intended.
I hit the
no pun. No pun intended. No pun intended. What happened? Number 3. What happened to the guy who sued over his missing luggage? He lost his case. Number 4. My computer suddenly started yelling out, "Someone like you." It's Adele.
Those were all pretty good. Kind of ridiculous, but they all had something in common. I don't know. I found that they had similarities. Those jokes. I don't know what I mean by that, but I do.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know.
I almost want to get right into what you're referring to, what you mean. I want to break this down because I have no idea.
Yeah, I would have to sit here.
Maybe they're all just punny.
I could do a
plays on words
report. I could do a screen share next time.
Yeah, there you go.
My dissection. Yeah. All right.
Well, I guess that's it. North Brew. Yeah, I do. I'm actually sipping on some delicious French pressed Twin Peaks. I can't remember the name of it. The dark roast.
Coffee. It's delicious coffee. And so the mugs are in. I'm going to pick up the mugs today. And our shirts, they had a breakdown with the heat press. So I'm picking up blank shirts and we're going to get ours done at Printwell that did our mugs.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Shout out to Printwell.
What do you guys think of my mug today?
Discount code, 20% off.
Fever. Podcast. Yeah. Just
podcast.
Put the word podcast in. Northbrew.ca. Promo code podcast, 20% off.
You guys got to do it. This coffee is delicious.
It actually is very good. I'm not going to lie to you. I have a few different types in the freezer, but I got her in the French
many
press.
cups.
And I'm just fired up. I'm fired up. Yeah. Enjoy the weekend, gentlemen. It's going to be, I think it's supposed to be nice again.
Yeah.
Get out to your local farmers market, support local. Tune in Tuesday for the full episode.
The new market at Byward is very well handled given the current situation. They only let so many people in at a time. So it's very not crowded. Lots of super good food. So
cool.
Yeah, do that.
All right, good to know.
Word. All right, gentlemen.
Stephen Hopkins. Okay.
We'll see you next week. Good luck in the market. Good luck out there, Greg, in the Wild West.
Yeah, I got some work to do. All right.
Those gunslingers out.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, we'll see you next week.
I'm ready. Ciao.
The Ottawa Real Estate Podcast is brought to you by Referral Mortgages, Blue Panda Realty, and Stephen Hopkins Video. Thanks for tuning in, and please remember to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you.